Mayor, let me begin with your party's big celebration this week. The DNC, going to be a little bit different, of course, because it's going to be virtual. But this is the first time I think we're talking to you since the ticket was announced last week. Size up your all's chances when it comes to North Carolina.
Well, you know, everybody keeps saying that we're a toss-up state, but I believe that this ticket with Vice President Biden and Senator Harris is so strong and speaks so much to the people about the things that we're really concerned about, whether or not we can get through this pandemic with wellness and recover and do better. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm hoping that everyone in North Carolina gets out and votes. And does a good job of making a choice, because I'm going to be supporting the Biden and Harris ticket.
For folks who are tuning in tonight or tomorrow night or the next night, what do you think your party's case is going to be to the American people?
Well, first and foremost, I think that you will see the authenticity of the speakers. Having someone like Michelle Obama, President Obama, Jim Clyburn, you've got a range of people that have worked so hard to serve this country, to speak up for the values that the Democrats believe in. So what I think is going to happen is that we're going to have people speaking from their heart as well as their head, and they're going to talk about the progress we need to make, the change we need to make.
Originally, were you planning on being in Milwaukee for this, or since we were going to have the RNC, you were never going to make the trip?
Well, I had not planned to go to Milwaukee because after March the 9th, I knew the world was going to be different. We were going to be dealing with COVID. So I really understood the importance of gathering the people around the nomination. But I think we have to do it in a way that keeps people healthy and well. And so the virtual idea is the best that we can do right now.
Speaking of, how do you size this up as far as, of course, we're talking about your party and your all's virtual convention. They said months ago that it was going to be all virtual. However, you were dealing with a very different scenario when it came to the RNC here in Charlotte.
That's right. It was really a very difficult time. You know, things in 2 years ago, in 2018 and today are very different. And to, you know, walk through that journey that we had to say to the RNC that we could not do a convention unless we abided by the rules and regulations of COVID. And it was a very difficult thing for them to do and accept. But right now we're going to have the Rules Committee come in and they're going to nominate. And I still feel very proud of Charlotte because we're going to be one of the cities that has hosted both the Democratic and the Republican conventions. That's pretty historical for us, and it proves that we are a city that we can be on this kind of stage, whether it's virtual or not.
The president made a case several times that that this was a political decision, that never said you by name, but inferred that it was city leadership and state leadership that just made this decision for political reasons. I'm not for sure if I actually heard a direct response for you. What would you say?
I would say that the people the residents of Charlotte are much more important than any position that I would take politically. If you know me, you know at my heart that I love this city in a tangible way, and I would do no harm. And at the time that we were having these discussions, we were in a particularly difficult time. We weren't sure about our hospital bed usage. We weren't sure about what COVID was going to bring to us. So what I would say is that I was true to myself, and I was true to the people that I live and support with.
And what would you say?
I live and support.
Yeah, and what would you say to RNC officials now as they get ready to come here in the coming days? I mean, you as a Democrat, you still championed their cause of a convention here in Charlotte because what it would do to the economy. What do you say to them as they come into the city in much more limited numbers, of course, in the next few days?
You know, we've always said that Charlotte is a city that's diverse, inclusive, and welcoming. And our tourism industry is very, very important to us. And while we're not having the convention in the conventional way, we're having a convention, and we're going to welcome those folks. We're going to have them come in and do the business of nominating their candidate for the presidency. And then we're going to continue to work on the values that we live by in Charlotte.
Do you think, would you be open to the idea of, given the circumstances of this year, if the RNC wanted to come back here in 4 years?
Well, you know, that's a big if. I doubt seriously if we will have an opportunity to consider that right now. But I think when I look again at who we are as a community and all of the people that I represent, we should consider any opportunity to showcase our city and our state.
A little off topic politically, but you being the mayor, want to get your take on it. First day of school back for students. CMS statewide, there's already been issues with the portal, people having trouble log on. What is your message to the families across Charlotte who are frustrated with the way things are going when it comes to the first day back to school?
I understand frustration. This is a very difficult time for all of us. And the idea that we can call upon the well of patience, the well of thinking positively about any experience can sometimes be in the way. So frustration's okay, but remember to go back to your heart and understand that everybody's trying to do their best. And we've got to come through this. At the beginning of the pandemic, we talked about we're all in this together. Now we're in the middle of this, and especially around our education and students going back to school, let's remember we're all in this together.
It really looks like, if you look at the numbers over the last few weeks, that we are continuing this downward trajectory here in North Carolina. It's good news. I mean, our hospitalizations are now coming down, our percent positives going down, actual cases going down. Do you credit basically what were the mask mandates that happened at a local and a statewide level for that?
I think that you can give a lot of credit to the mask mandate. I wish we had done it sooner, but I also think that you can also thank the people that are managing all of the testing, getting out into the African American and the Latino neighborhoods and doing free testing. There's so much credit to go around. Our food banks, our volunteers that are delivering food to people. This is a community effort. It's a community fight, and we're going to win this one.
Recently, you apologized for the city's role when it comes to systemic racism, and you talked about, I mean, people talk about the Brooklyn neighborhood there in Uptown that was sort of bulldozed decades ago. What's next after an apology? You
know, we have been talking about social justice, racism, restorative justice for a while. And the city council approved a budget that commits millions of dollars to reinvestment in what we call our opportunity corridors. And those are primarily the corridors that saw the most discrimination, the most disruption as we went through Jim Crow and Reconstruction. So we have made that commitment, and we're going to continue to live by that. The apology is that we understand that people were harmed. They were harmed by governmental actions. And what we want to do as a community and as a city council of representatives of every segment of our community is put the investment where it can pay off for those that were left behind.
All right, for the folks at home, back to the DNC briefly. What's the one thing you're most excited about, the one thing you're most looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to the nomination of Vice President Biden and Senator Harris. I think that's going to be an exciting moment to hear them both speak about what their plans are for our country. It's going to be, I just can't even imagine as a Democrat, the change that they know that we need is the change that they're going to bring to us.
All right, Mayor, anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Mayor Vi Lyles, thanks for taking time. We appreciate it. And enjoy the week, even if it's virtually, per se. We appreciate it as always.
Yes, that's true. I'm looking forward to 9 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, perfect. Take care.